Hi everyone, it's the Geeky Fox again, and I am once again in my car, and I am motivated to kind of swerve to the side of the street and record another video. Now today I just wanted to talk about remote work, and more specifically kind of transitioning into more of a remote work lifestyle. Now I was kind of called to record this video because the remote work sort of space has gone absolutely gangbusters. It's exploded ever since the beginning of COVID. And now that I've kind of had a bit of a journey with remote work, and I've kind of settled into, what I ultimately will be doing for the next sort of 5 to 7 years, hopefully, if it works out and everything kind of rolls out smoothly. I'm kind of watching all this stuff coming through social media, all these kind of like gurus and coaches and all that kind of stuff. And sort of a lot of the stuff that comes through, discussing remote work and the remote working lifestyle, just a lot of it sounds like bullshit, basically. And I wanted to record a video just to give you some strategy and some ideas around how you could potentially move into a remote work lifestyle, but more importantly, how you can customize it to suit you. And, all the stuff that's coming through on social media, a lot of it is kind of, get rich quick kind of strategies, and a lot of that stuff doesn't work. And I'm not saying that all of it is garbage. Some of the stuff, it depends on if you don't have your own personal strategy and you don't ultimately know where you're headed. It's very easy to waste money, to waste time, and to waste energy. And it's also very easy to get distracted and to get demotivated and to completely sort of stop your journey altogether, because there's so much information coming at you. And it's very hard to decipher, what generally could apply to you. So I think that this video could help anybody that's, wanting to move into more remote work lifestyle. There are so many reasons why people these days are wanting to do that, transition into that kind of a lifestyle. So I just wanted to go through quite a few things. Now I've made a list here, so I will refer to my list. And the first thing, I guess, that is really important, and I have made this mistake a couple of times. I was in a situation where I was so kind of motivated and I was so excited to start a remote working sort of situation that I actually quit my job a little bit too early. And although it kind of worked out in the end, and everything sort of came out clean in the wash, it did kind of take me back a few steps financially. So my advice, number one, is to don't quit your day job. You need that consistent income. Keep your mouth shut. Don't tell many people, unless they're kind of close friends and that they can be motivating and inspirational. But, on the whole, I think that you should keep your plans quiet. I think that you should limit the amount of people that know, your exit strategy out of the corporate world, if that's what you're doing, because it can get a little bit sort of a little bit risque or a little bit kind of sticky when you're still in a corporate environment and you are looking at moving to a remote working lifestyle. The minute you kind of open your mouth and start telling people that, you're kind of like getting your feelers out there, or you're looking at doing such and such, people talk, So my advice is keep your mouth shut and keep your day job. That's number one. Now, the second really important thing that I did, and I encourage everyone out there to do as well, is skill up. Now, what do I mean by that? If you are in a corporate environment and you are looking at more of a solo entrepreneurial kind of lifestyle, work life, then you need to skill up, because you don't know what's going on out there as far as digital marketing and the rest of it. Now, if you are trying to build up your personal brand, you're working alone. You haven't got, you're basically creating a business out of nothing. And you need to equip yourself with as many skills and as much knowledge as you can. So how can you do that? Like I'll just use myself as an example. When I first started looking at or thinking about moving into a more of a remote working lifestyle, I didn't really know what that was going to look like. I didn't know what my ultimate goal was, but I don't think at the beginning you need to know. You don't need to know exactly where you're headed. But it's really important to stay open and to be inspired by any sort of skill that you can pick up. You know, there is so much knowledge and so many people like you and so many others online on YouTube, and they are offering free knowledge and free advice and free skills basically. So, you know, using, as I was saying before, using myself as an example, I knew that I had to look into developing my public speaking skills. So I am actually looking at teaming up, or, you know, finding a mentor that can help me with, you know, the development of my speaking style. You know, I'm sort of improving day by day and video by video, but I know that it would probably be a really good idea to attach myself to some sort of mentor. And there's one really fantastic guy that I came across that his name is Vin Jiang. His first name is spelled V-I-N-H and his surname is G-I-A-N-G. And I listened to one of his kind of free masterclasses and there's so many people like that are offering free sort of Zoom conference calls, and they are going through a lot of information regardless of whether you sign up and pay for their kind of mentorship program. A lot of these types of people are offering free advice and free information. And I encourage everyone out there it doesn't matter what you're interested in, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's public speaking, whether it's you're interested in finding out more about e-commerce, or, you know, how to create sales funnels online with, you know, considering social media and all that. So doesn't really matter what you're interested in. I say just be a little bit of a sponge and try to absorb as much information and as many skills as you can, you know, from the get-go. So you know, as I said before, I wasn't really sure about what my ultimate personal brand was going to look like, what my ultimate goal is. And to be honest, I still don't know. I'm just going with the flow. And I've created my YouTube channel and I'm discussing all sorts of kind of health issues and alternative health modalities and, you know, self-development in general. And I am still picking up skills as I go. I only came across Vin Jiang about sort of a couple of weeks ago. I was on his conference call and I found it really inspirational. And there's so many things that he discussed initially within that conference call. And I'm really kind of motivated to jump onto his mentorship program later on when I'm making a little bit more cash and I've got a little bit more disposable income. I'm not that way inclined at the moment, but I know that in the near future I'll probably have a little bit more disposable income to invest in myself, you know, and that's the most important thing. Invest in yourself. So whether it's public speaking, as I said before, digital marketing. Now that's another thing that is really important for people wanting to move into more of an entrepreneurial, personal brand kind of profile to really get their head around. You know, if you're stuck in the corporate world and you have been for 20 years and then you kind of get out and you are trying to develop something on your own, it's a whole different world out there. And I think that it is really good to do some sort of a digital marketing course. And again, you know, there's so much free information online, and start with that. If you're not in a position where you can spend a lot of money on upskilling, then there's all sorts of free information and knowledge out there. Now with digital marketing, I actually did a digital marketing course that was quite detailed and it went for about 2 or 3 months, and I did it through the Digital Marketing Institute. Sorry, there's something going on very loud. I don't know if you can hear that. Moving along. Now, I did a course and it kind of touched on a lot of different aspects of social media, digital marketing in general. But another guy that I encourage anyone interested in digital marketing to look into is Mark Atwood. Now, he's been in digital marketing for, 30 odd years, maybe more. Don't quote me on that. And just to give you an idea, I actually did he was offering, back during the kind of COVID years, he was offering a digital marketing course, and there was a fee attached to it. But if you were in a financial pinch, you could actually ask and apply for a free subscription to this course. And he's actually the author of this book. Now, the best digital marketing strategy in the galaxy, probably. So Mark Atwood. But I actually did the course back then during COVID, and it was absolutely unbelievable. It kind of You know, there are so many different courses that teach you the confusing kind of mechanics of digital marketing, but not a lot of courses actually tell you how to create sales funnels, exactly what to do step by step. And I found that Mark Atwood's digital marketing course was absolutely fantastic. So if you are interested, what I'll do is I'll actually check whether he's actually got that course still available, because it has been going for quite some time. And I was attached to a Telegram group that, you know, discussed this course whilst you were doing it. But I just want to double check that it's still available. I'm pretty sure it is. It's bloody fantastic. Seriously, if you are interested in digital marketing specifically, look up Mark Atwood. He's got a life of knowledge on digital marketing, and he was one of the first ones within that kind of space that really understood the mechanics of how to create sales funnels, how to convert sales, and how to create audiences. So he actually helped me with the creation of my YouTube channel, and just gave me a lot of tips as to how to construct them, how to construct the headings, for example, what to write in the descriptions, how to create an email sort of list, you know, attached to a YouTube channel. So he taught me so many things, and I encourage anyone to look him up. And or whether you're looking at developing, I'm tongue-tied now, developing your personal brand. And it's, again, you don't have to know exactly what that's going to look like, but work on yourself. You know, self-development, I think, is the most important thing. And I've spoken about breath work in the past, in previous videos, but these guys here, so if you look up believeinyourBreath.com, I don't think it's .au, it's .com, because they're based in Bali now. So it might be .com.au or .com, just check on those. Now, these guys are also doing business coaching as well. So if you are more interested in a business coaching kind of mentorship program, they are fantastic as well. So believeinyourBreath.com or .com.au. Please check that. I'm not sure which one it is. Now, the second thing that you really need to do once you've kind of, and this, you know, attaining skills will never stop. You know, don't feel like I'm always learning, I'm always picking up new skills. Whatever kind of pings you on social media, or whatever comes through that you're kind of pulled to look into a little bit further, just jump on it. Seriously, especially if it's free information, just do it. You know, we spend so much time on social media, and I'm you know, a culprit as well, especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world at the moment. You've got, I don't want to go into it, but you can quite easily spend 2 and 3 hours on social media overnight, especially on weekdays when you've got nothing to do. And you could use that time a lot more constructively. And that's advice that I'm giving myself as well as everybody else out there. So I'm in the same boat here. But I'm learning as I go, and I never stop learning. If there's something that I come across, I pick it up. I kind of look into it. But the next thing you really need to look into, you know, as you're learning all these skills, is make a list of your strengths. You know, there are people that are good storytellers, there are people that are good communicators, there are people that are naturally tech savvy. So you will know what you naturally kind of sway towards, and what your strengths are. And for me, you know, when I was kind of assessing my personality, I knew that I had a lot to say. I knew that I liked helping people. I knew that I was a type of person, you know, I have been known in the past, hopefully, I have been told, and I hope that people still think this way, but I have been told that I am very wise, and I've got a lot of advice for people, especially when they're kind of needing a little bit more direction in life. So I naturally kind of lean towards a you know, a little bit of, I like helping people. I like sort of bringing out the best in people. So that was one of my strengths that I kind of honed into as well when I was looking at, you know, what I want to do moving forward. And so ask yourself that question: what am I good at? What are my strengths? And what do I enjoy doing, you know, day to day? Think about, you know, where you spend most of your time, and you know, you will kind of find like little hints as far as, you know, what you could use out of your personality, and out of your you know, what your natural personality is like. And I think the next thing that's really important as well is, what do you ultimately want your lifestyle to look like? Are you in your late teens, early 20s, and you're thinking that all you're really concentrating on is making as much money as possible? Do you want freedom? Do you want the freedom to travel? Do you want the freedom to spend quality time with your family and your parents and your children? What's important to you? And I think that we need to take the money aspect off this journey for the time being, especially when you're early on. Everyone needs money to get by and pay bills and the rest of it. But I think that when you are motivated by your heart and what actually drives you and what brings you joy and what makes you happy, then I think that you will find a way of making money that kind of aligns with your morals, with the way you want to live your life, with your belief systems and all the other good stuff. So, oh, that's so cute. A little bird just decided to plonk itself on my side mirror. So I'll just kind of refer back to what I really want my lifestyle to look like, sort of 5-7 years. I want to create a family. I want to be with a loving partner. I want the freedom to be able to travel wherever I want. I want to possibly look into homeschooling if I have kids as well. So being based from home and working from home, I think that's really important. That's and that kind of changes over time. That you might think that you're headed towards a very specific goal, but within time things change, things kind of merge and mold into something different. So don't be afraid to watch your journey evolve as well, and to watch yourself evolve as a person. And, with that as well, you need to ask yourself, how much money do you really need? Are you the type of person that is happy to make, as much money as you need to pay your bills, to make sure your mortgage is paid, and to, and a little bit extra just to kind of, to tuck away for emergencies? Or are you very, very, extremely motivated by money? Do you want to make $1, $2, $5 million? What's your motivator? You need to be clear on that. And ultimately, I think the next step would be set an overarching or ultimate goal. Think big. Where do you see yourself headed? I want to do so much with my personal brand and my public presence. But I know that I need to start small, and I need to work on a lot of different aspects of the way I present myself. So many different aspects of developing a personal brand that I know are very, very important. But you need to stay connected to that larger picture, and it's some people are afraid to think big and to kind of put it down on paper even. But I think it's really, really important to be clear as to what drives you, and to always kind of look upwards to that. And what have I written here? Do you want an international personal brand? Is it a monetary goal? As I said before, are you motivated by the dollar sign? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that we are forever in judgment of people that are motivated by money and feel like money is important. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Different people have different goals in life, and your idea of success is going to look completely different to somebody else's idea of success. And neither is wrong or right, And we need to really kind of ask ourselves, if you do have a problem with that much abundance and how you view people that have that much abundance, what is it saying about yourself? What do you need to look at, within yourself? And I could go into a whole different conversation around that, but I'll stick to what I'm wanting to discuss here. Or is it, as I said before, or is it purely based on how much freedom you want to provide yourself and your family? Be clear and make a list. Write all this stuff down. It's good to have a journal, and it's good to, touch base with yourself and look at this paper. If I've got a journal and I kind of write things out, and every so often I kind of look back and go, oh, okay, I've done that. That's really cool. I've completed that goal. Or, oh, that I thought I was going to do this, but it's kind of changed and what's the word? That kind of goal that I wanted to achieve has turned into something else. It's kind of, I can't think of the word. Far out. And what else have I got here? So yeah, your goal might change. It might develop into something bigger, be diverted into something you didn't expect. You might decide to create a YouTube channel, for example, and towards, further on in your journey, you might end up writing a book or, being on stage. Like, you don't know where this stuff's going to take you. And you need to consistently just follow your joy. Everybody has an inner guidance system, and everyone, has an inner voice, and you need to follow that, and you will get hints along the way. And, I've written here, go with your gut, your joy, and listen to your inner guidance system. We've said that. Now, another important aspect that I really want to highlight is minimizing your exposure to other examples of what you want to do. And I truly believe that comparison is the thief of joy. And, I have been, I've done this in the past, and it's actually hindered my development. And I've kind of, I try not to compare myself too much with other people. And that's kind of professionally, personally. I think a lot more when I was younger, when you're a little bit younger and not as secure within yourself, I think you tend to compare yourself with other people, whether it's in a professional setting, in a work setting, etc. But I don't tend to do that as much anymore. But my little kind of, my little weak point is looking at other people's social media presence and kind of comparing, oh, look, they've done X, Y, Z. Why haven't I done that? Or why, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective now. It's funny because when you do get on YouTube and you start kind of assessing your personal brand, and you get out there and you get, you develop yourself as a brand, you start to look at other people's social media platforms as more of like a training ground. You're like, oh, I like the way she's doing that. Maybe I should try that in my video. Or I like the way she's conducted the graphics in her YouTube video. Maybe I should look into appointing a professional from Fiverr, for example. Fiverr is a platform where you can actually get all sorts of professional kind of tech savvy people to help you out with social media management. What's it called? Graphics, whatever you want. Stationery. And I have used their services a couple of times, and I'm looking at possibly appointing a YouTube video editor from Fiverr as well. So, you can look at other people's social media platforms and personal brands as a reference point, just to get ideas. Everyone's running their own race, and I know that I've got a few things here that will dive deeper into that. And I need to highlight this. No one can do it like you. Everyone has their own personal brand fingerprint. And, when I started discussing, chronic illnesses and remote work and all the other stuff that I talk about on my channel, I kind of looked at other people on social media. I'm like, it's kind of already done. People are already discussing these topics. I'm not kind of bringing anything new to the space. And that's a really kind of toxic way to look at it. No one will present a subject matter, and nobody will do it like you. And doesn't matter how quirky you are, doesn't matter how, doesn't matter what your approach is. I think the number one thing is to stay authentic. Because staying authentic will allow you to find your audience. And I think another thing that I really want to mention is that people can smell fake. People know when you're putting it on. People know when you're kind of fabricating information. People are not stupid, anyone that's I've tried to stay as honest as possible. The only thing that I probably would say about my channel is that I have kept a few things to myself as far as what I'm going through personally, because everybody does. That's not me being untruthful. That's me just keeping a part of my life private, and I think that that's important as well. But as far as all the content and all the information and all the things that I discuss, I'm really proud of the fact that I stay pretty honest to my audience. And I want to, there's so many, people on social media that filter their information, they filter their lifestyles, and I want to be the type of person that never does that. So I think that that's really important. And also people want to see your journey as well, the good, the bad. the struggles, the triumph. The important thing is that you will end up with genuine investment in your personal brand. You know, nobody wants to see you at the finishing line. Nobody wants to see you attaining your goal. They don't want to. They don't want to see if there is a lack of how you evolve, and if there is a lack of content, kind of depicting what you actually went through on your journey to getting to that goal, then people are not as invested in your personal brand as much. So, and one last thing is just keep going. Hi guys, I paused the video for a couple of seconds, but I'm back on now. So in closing, I just wanted to say that everyone has their own journey, and the steps that you take to attain your goal is going to look completely different to everybody else. And in closing, I just want to read a really, really great poem. It's quite lengthy. I came across it a couple of weeks ago, and it really struck a chord with me. And I think that if I read it, it'll resonate with a lot of you out there and anyone that's listening to this video. So it's called The Man in the Arena, and it goes something like this. Hopefully I can do it justice and I don't make any mistakes when I read it. So here we go. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. And that is by Theodore Roosevelt. Don't you love that? So in closing, I'm sending out my love to everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.